Yeah, yeah. Funny thing about hunger, it changes the way that you look at the world when the cupboards stay empty for weeks. Every rich guy says money don't matter until they remember they never had nights they couldn't sleep. Back then he was staring at ceilings, imagining exits while rain leaked through cracks in the beams. Now people see watches and bottles and penthouses, never the reasons he chases those things. He grew up where the rent came first and the dreams came second, and neither were easy to keep. Landlord banging the door every month while his mother kept smiling, pretending they still had enough to eat. School felt pointless because every lesson got drowned by the pressure of bills and the stress in the streets. Watching men twice his age work themselves into graves, only to die with a debt receipt. So he got older with chips on his shoulder and anger that sat in his chest like a furnace. Everybody had opinions on failure, yet nobody offered a route that was worth it. Spent years doing jobs he despised just to survive while his confidence slowly got murdered. Nothing hurts quite like effort producing the same disappointing result every quarter. Meanwhile, social media flooded his screen with vacations and people pretending they figured it out. Influencers preaching about mindset from islands they reach through connections they never talk about. Made him question himself every night, wondering why he was running in circles and stuck in a drought. So one morning he swore if nobody would open the door, then he built one himself and break out. Funny how survival becomes an addiction when you spend your whole life one step from the edge. Funny how success feels imaginary right until the moment reality bends. Funny how the people who doubted the loudest become the first ones attempting to reconnect. Soon as the numbers get bigger, the messages multiply faster than interest collects. Started a business from nothing but stubborn and sleeping for hours, then working the rest of the day. Learning from failures that cost him his savings, cause every mistake had a price to be paid. Watched partnerships crumble and promises vanish when profits arrived and temptation was raised. Discovered that greed wears expensive cologne and a smile while it quietly sharpens a blade. One year he was broke with a maxed out account and a fridge holding little besides hope. Next year he was finally moving some product, although every dollar got swallowed by growth. Still he kept pushing cause quitting would mean all the suffering happened for nothing at all. When you stared at rock bottom long enough, eventually fear would return and outweighs fear of the fall. Let it happen. One contract changed everything. Not overnight like the movie suggests, more like a leak becoming a river becoming a flood. Suddenly numbers he'd only imagined were landing in places his eyes couldn't fully adjust. Now he's in restaurants ordering bottles that cost what his family once paid for a month. Still catches himself checking price tags from habits developed when every expense had to count. Owns an apartment with windows so high that the city looks small every time he looks down. Yet some nights he sits there in silence, remembering exactly who wasn't around. Cause money solved problems but never repaired all the damage, the pressure engraved in his brain. Never refunded the years spent exhausted, never returned opportunities lost in the pain. Never erased every moment he felt like a failure while watching his peers pull away. It simply created enough breathing room for him to finally process the weight. People love saying the journey builds character. True, what they never mention is character usually gets built through disappointment, through embarrassment, through watching plans collapse after years of investment, through smiling in public while privately wondering if you're witnessing the death of your ambition. Funny how survival becomes an addiction when you spend your whole life one step from the edge. Funny how success feels imaginary right until the moment reality bends. Now he's got wealth he once prayed for and still finds himself looking back now and then. Not because he misses the struggle, just because he remembers exactly how close he came to never escaping it. Late at night, when the skyline glows beneath him and the city sounds fade into distant noise, he pours a drink by the window, then thinks about the version of him who had no other choice. The kid with overdue bills and impossible dreams would probably laugh if he saw all of this, then tell him to keep going, because hunger created the bear. Money only made him visible.